So hello everyone to the Power Platform Advent Calendar. I have the pleasure to show you something regarding audit log and especially audit logs on security roles. So what's the main purpose behind that? Let's assume you and some other guys are administrating a Power Platform environment as an system administrator, who's also the only security role which is giving you the possibility to assign security roles, or you create security roles and assign them to other people. Then at some point you want to just check, who got which role by whom, maybe as a, let's say, administrative task, on also to have some governance. And what I will show you today is basically how you can achieve that, how you can view this security role audit log data, how you can enable it. So let me dive into it. So first of all, what you need to make sure in order to get this data is to go on your environment. In my case, it's Dev Sandbox. And just first of all, check if auditing is enabled. This is the most important thing, because at the end, you don't see any audit log data if auditing is not enabled yet. So also to show you something regarding auditing, so you can have general auditing, you can also have log access, so when the user is basically accessing the platform, and you can also, make sure that those logs will be sent to the Microsoft Defender, or also now called, I guess, Microsoft Purview. Yeah, and furthermore, you can also, set the retaining dates or time for this kind of data. So you can basically do it from the 30 days on until or up to forever. So this is actually the most important thing at the moment in order to have this data available. But in order to give you also some more insights, so this is not the only setting which is important for enabling this feature or enabling audit logs in general, but you need to, for example, let's take a custom table which I have created. Inventory, for example. If you click on properties, then one important thing is to check in the advanced option that audit changes to its status enabled. So this is also an important thing in order to check this, which user or which changes has been made to this table. So for example, in this case, you can change this data or change the value, and then auditing is enabled for this table. And if I'm going to click on that, and then maybe just here directly add something like 006, product 6, quantity 12, 23, price 100, and put it to other. Fun fact, this is also looking like a Copilot, build an app with Copilot table, and it is build an app with Copilot table because they have a just similar design for each topic actually. Good, now I've created this, this item, and now from the expectation, this item creation should be logged. But before we look into the audit itself, to the logs itself, let's have a look on the inventory data, into the security role data. So in order to enable or disable audit logs for security role changes, you need to look for the table. So the user-friendly name is security role, but the logical or the internal name is role. And here under properties, you can, here I had this already enabled, but here you can either enable or disable it. So let me just quickly turn that off, because I experienced during the work that some people were not able to enable audit logs or audit log changes to its data. So basically this changing this value resulted in an error somehow. So we weren't able to investigate, or we couldn't figure out why you couldn't do that through that UI. But maybe also one interesting thing is when you look into the network, panel and see what happens if you, for example, change here something. Let me appear in search results, for example. Then what happens is, when you click on save, an put request will be sent to the Dataverse API. And actually, then this is a very important thing, because maybe this is also a topic which is helping also other people with tables which are facing an error if you want to change the properties. In this case, the put request is basically sending the current status of the screen. So every property which you have, doesn't matter if you have selected it or not, will be sent as a put request. And at some attributes, maybe you are not allowed to change something. And this is actually an issue when you want to update a property through the UI. That's why I also created a small flow which also helps with this regard. I called it Dataverse with HTTPs. You can also use updated row. And how you are basically using Dataverse with HTTP in this case is I use the Microsoft Entra ID pre-authorized, and I'm sending a request to the Dataverse API and also to the same table or the same URL which I've been using, or which has been used when I'm using the UI. And here with you can just select the property you like to change. Either it's is OneNote integration enabled or something else. In my case, it is audit log enabled. And here you can basically change the value. So if I click on test, click on manually now, just to see it as a test, then, and as you can see, your flow ran successfully and the value has been changed, but only the value. So I'm doing a put request towards the definition of this table, just sending one item to change in the payload. So now we can also see that this value has been changed. Maybe just refresh it for a second. This can be hidden now. Go to role. And then you can see under properties that this option is enabled again. And why is it useful? Let's go to a user, for example. And here we see my wonderful colleague Adele. Go to manage security roles. And yeah, let's change the role. Let's remove the basic user. Maybe let's remove the environment maker and just give him the role, yeah, a higher role. Let's give the person system customizer. And now, in order to see this logs or to see the change, actually, you can go to the security role section again, and then you have here the audit report. But before I show you that, let's just quickly wait. But we also have this summary here. And now you can see it also, you can see the change here as well. So what I have done is, and now I think it should be also available here, I disassociated a value, which was basic user and environment maker, and I associated a value to a user. And here you can see it has been changed by me. And also, if to see who is affected by it, you just easily click on the event, and then you see I changed the value for the user Adele Vance. And this can be also seen here. I have done the change, the associate entity, gave the person the system customizer, and then also remove the other both roles. And here you can also see the create record on the table in inventory. And yeah, that's it actually. So this is how you basically enable audit logs for security role changes, but also audit logs in general for your tables in order to track who has maybe changed something, but also always keep security in mind. Yeah. But that's it for me now. Thanks everyone for your time, for listening, and yeah, see you the next time again. Bye.